You'll have to clear that box, click the word got it, and we'll get going. So create this situation for yourself where you've got two chairs, backs of chairs facing in, and a chair to sit on. And that's the best way to flow with this class. Upright seat. Sit at that front edge of your chair, hands on thighs, comfortable, chin slightly down, crown slightly up. Start with eyes closed, breathing in through the nostrils, long and smooth. Might feel good to hold the breath for a bit at the top, full, and then smooth exhale. Out the nose or the mouth. This for maybe 12, 15 cycles just to calibrate body, brain. Sense that central pillar, midline of your body, straight down the middle of you, that you don't need to grab onto. In fact, when you relax around that middle, the middle becomes even more sturdy in a sense. We call that Zhongjung, or central upright. Try and soften and relax everything around that middle pillar. Call that Chungwan, softening and releasing into stability. And then that quality in your body when you relaxed it, that feeling, sort of something you want to become sensitive to, that is not gripped. There's a sort of lightness throughout the body. They call that qingling, a lightness or nimbleness that's present when we have good alignment and we've softened and relaxed. So to increase that softening and relaxing, we have to move a bit to get the kinks out, to get the residue out. So slide the hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, chest up, chin up, look up. And then slide hands forward, hollow the chest back, drop the head, round and reverse, sliding back, arching, and sliding forward. Just about 3 more times. Inhaling as you arch. Exhaling as you round. One more. And come back to neutral. Rotations, left hand forward, right hand and elbow back, turn the shoulders, turn the head, and then reverse. Right hand forward, left hand elbow back, turn. Just continue. Again, we've got our central pillar. We've got this quality of softness, Chungwon, and Qingling, this nimble quality. One more each way. And then back to the neutral position. Hang your arms alongside you. Lean a little right. Left wrist floats up. Left foot can even empty. Tip. And then switch sides. Hold. One more each side. Lean in. Find neutral. Shoulder circles so that the arm bone plugs into the socket. The shoulder blade is on the back. The shoulder blade spreads away from the spine. The shoulders come forward. Chest has to hollow. Lift your shoulders up and then roll them over the top and squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other and then come down, under, forward, up, over, back, down. Do this a few times. Just find the flow of it. Circles forward, no, so forward, up, back, down. Now reverse, go back, up, forward, down. Top. One more. Back, up, loose. Bend the elbows. Elbows flare out, up, down, around in front, squeeze, down. Elbows straight back behind, chest area opens, elbows down, forward, up, and then forward, down, back, down, forward, up. Back. Down, out to the side, left hand high, right hand low, cross and hug. And open, switch. Open, switch again. Down. Swing. Loose. And alternating swing. Let this cause just that little bit of a turning at your middle pivot. And relax. Scoot a little bit back in your chair so you feel very stable. And let's go right knee up, right heel pulled in close. Push, reload, set it down, switch, load, push, load, down. Keep doing that. Now, hold your leg out there, point foot, flex foot, point, flex. Invert, tilt, evert, tilt, tilt, tilt. Circles. Reverse it. Switch feet. Out, point, flex. Invert, tilt, evert, tilt, tilt. Circle. And reverse circle. Okay. Scoot forward all the way to the front edge. Step your feet a bit wider apart than hip distance. Keep the heels on the ground. Lift your toes up. Turn. So the knees are in and the feet turned in and the groin area is closed. And then lift the toes open, opening this whole space here. And then close. Open. Close. Open. A few more. And back to neutral. Bring your legs back to hip distance. Now, hip hinge. Very important here that get this idea that the head, the neck vertebra, the upper vertebra, the lower back vertebra, all of that essentially doesn't change anything in its relationship. So we're not rounding or arching the back. We're just folding right at this hip crease and hinging. But we're keeping this zhong, this straight spine. Same idea when we lean back. We're not arching the back. We're just unfolding from the hip crease. And then sit upright and fold. Upright. And tip back. Again, folding. And then come back to vertical. Now we're gonna hang the arms again. And also notice that most of the way that you're staying grounded to the floor is through the chair, meaning your feet are free. So do this little pitter-patter thing with your feet. You're going up, down, up, down, up, down. This wakes up the feet, but it's also just feeling you're not really weighted through your legs. You're not using the legs to connect to the ground. Now that's all going to change here as you slide your feet back a little bit underneath. Fold from those hips. Keep your arms loose. As you fold from the hips, try to get arms, shoulders, and head in front of the ankle. And then here, this position right here, where I'm not on the chair, but I haven't tried to stand up yet. Then I come all the way up to this vertical. Now get back to that squat position. So the butt goes back, arms and shoulders and head stay loose. Sit the butt really low to the chair. Then you can go into the chair. And notice, again, your feet are empty again. But when we stand up, we're going to go from the weight going through the chair to pouring it down through the legs to the floor. So you got to feel that changeover, that transfer, and then stand up. And you can stay very light and loose when you come up here if you've emphasized the idea that it's the body weight pouring down. That's how we get our stability. That's called chunwon, softening into stability. So sitting down again, the weight is down through the legs. It stays down through the legs all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way until your butt actually touches the chair. Then you can pour the weight down through the chair and the legs are empty. And then again, we pour. So emphasize this idea that the weight's going down to the earth. Let it go down there. Let it stay down there as you stand all the way up really tall. And note that you don't have to hold on to your body up here to be balanced. In fact, if you do that, you're making yourself more top heavy and less grounded. Whereas when we're loose and relaxed and light, then we're more able to ground in a sustainable way. Okay, so now let's make our way over to this right side chair. Turn and face it. Fingertips are on the chair for balance. Tip yourself into your toes. Back to the middle, and then tip yourself a little back to your heels. Use the chair for safety, so no falling. Tip forward into the toes. Back to the middle. Back into the heels a little bit. Now go into your toes, stay in your toes, and lift your heels way up. Lower your heels down, rock back to your heels, and lift your toes way up, balancing just on the heels. And then forward and lift those heels up. Back down, rock back, lift the toes. One more. Lift, down, rock back, lift the toes. And from here, now place the heels of your hands, the heels of your hands on this back of the chair. Walk your feet back. And then folding in half at the hips. Stick your butt back, keep your arms straight, and get a stretch through the hamstrings, the back of the torso. It's basically downward facing dog. And lift your chest up a little bit, coming out of the position only to go right back into it. Stick your butt back again. Fold. And lift your chest. Walk forward till you're vertical. Turn and face forward. So now your right hand stays on this chair. Turn your right foot out about 5 degrees or so, and then put all the weight into your right leg, and put your left foot out in front with the heel touching and the legs straight. Now, left hand on left thigh, stick your butt back. So I'll turn a little sideways so you can see. Stick the butt back, hinge, and slide this left hand down. So maybe you get around the knee area or the shin, maybe someday down near the ankle, maybe even all the way to the toes, and then come all the way back up. And so this standing leg, there's one full, one empty. This one will bend a little bit. This one, you keep it as straight as you can as you fold down and then back up. All the way up. And Again. Down. Up. Hip hinge. So make sure you're emphasizing. So Wade, it looks a little bit like, I'll just use Wade as an example. So what Wade is doing is he's not really folding from here, but he's rounding. So notice how I'm touching my knee, but I haven't done any fold. So you got to focus on this fold. Now you won't get as far, but you'll get more of that leg stretch. If you really focus on sticking your butt back, make sure you're doing that. One more. Now, we just kind of let this left leg, we've stretched it and kind of pumped and let there be a flow through it. Now, shift your weight into your left leg and fold from this hip again and tip. And notice how I'm taking my other leg up and tipping to here. And then let's come back to vertical. We'll do that again. So you're going to hinge from your left hip, bow forward, and back up. So what we really want to find here is our middle pivot, where we're hinging and yet still balanced and hinging. So even though we're changing our relationship to gravity quite drastically, the idea that where balance comes from is from this middle place, not from, let's say, our head being in perpendicular relationship to the sky or to the room around us, our body, right? So one more time, tip and find this place that you could maybe just hold for a little bit. Someday you might even open up your wings and balance like this, but the chair is there for you whenever you need it. Great job, everybody. And now just easily come up. Right, so this is a really good one for helping us find our middle. Let's switch sides. Side step, out. You got this chair on your left. Turn your left foot out 5 degrees or so. Put your right foot in front, heel touching. And again, I'll turn sideways so you can see some of the angles. Now focus on hip hinge. Hip hinge. And slide that right hand down the leg. After you've hip hinged, then you can round back a little. And then come all the way back up. Vertical. And again, hip hinge, slide the hand down. All the way back up. Do that a few more times. Just trying to get a flowing, opening, clearing for your right leg. Last two. Last one. And now that flying practice here. So we shift the weight into the right leg. And again, you got your hand on your chair for balance. Teeter-totter forward. And then back to vertical. And just trying to break the state of grip that we usually have on our body, especially when we're afraid of our balance being not so great. We tend to respond to that by holding on to our body. And movements like these help us sort of break through that and find a freedom of movement while still having balance and organization. And then lastly, we're tipped, and just hold the position with the option to open wings up and fly. Just be on one leg. Chair is there for your balance. And then rise all the way up. All right. Now, switch back to the first side. And for this first two levels of this exercise, try to have no hand on any chair. Just be under your own power of your body. So now we want to change the body weight to the right leg. Let the right knee be a little bent, but don't even lift the left foot off the floor. So you want to feel this sense that changing full to empty. Go ahead and change into your left leg now. Changing which leg is full and sturdy and which one is light and free and movable doesn't have anything to do with the feet coming off the ground. It's more of a change of status, you could say. So the weight goes over to your left leg. You let that left leg be sort of soft enough to behave like a spring compressing a little. And this other foot, now test it. See what I'm doing here? This light little swivel. I'm able to turn from the hip up here because this leg is not under use, it's not weighted. And then when I change, now I'm changing over to the other leg and get all that weight to go down through just your right leg and see if you can get this freedom of movement of the left leg. And it's from the hip. Right, so my hand is pointing right up here at the hip because that's that ball and socket joint that I'm turning from. And then let's change again. So we haven't pulled the foot up off the floor to make a step or do anything. We've done this sort of foundational change that most of us don't even think about until it becomes a big problem. So now just finding how this middle pivot, that there's this ability to change full to empty, empty to full, back and forth. Now the next time you're in your left leg, stay in your left leg. Let's go one level up. Now lift to the tippy toe of this empty foot. Put the heel back down and then change. Right leg full, left leg empty. Get up to the tip of the toe, tip of the shoe here. Put the foot back down, no weight, and then change again. Get up to the tippy toe of the empty foot. Put the heel back down. Change. Remember, your middle is the belly button level of the body. So this is that middle pivot. Change. Now let's go to the next level. You might need your hand on a chair for this one. Get to the tippy toe. Now, disconnect the foot from the floor and just kind of hover there for a second. And if you need your chair, please use it. And then place the whole foot back on the earth. Change. So now your weight's going down through that right leg. First get to the tippy toe. Then disconnect that empty foot. Feel all the quiver and change and challenge. Place the foot down empty. That's just as important. And then do that internal change of full empty. Tippy toe, disconnect, reconnect, change. Empty the foot first. Get to the tippy toe second. Disconnect it from the floor. Place it back down on the floor. Change weight. Tippy toe, disconnect, reconnect, change. Now let's go to the next level. You'll probably definitely need your chair for this one, where we want to get all the way up as high as the leg could possibly go. And notice this looseness in my foot, and there's a looseness in the knee. So we want to keep that empty quality. There's even a looseness in the hip socket, this external, internal movement. And then that whole leg nice and empty down to the floor. and then we change. So now the weight's down through the left leg. Lift this right leg all the way up. And again, feel loose in the foot, loose in the hinge joint of the knee, and loose in the ball and socket as best you can. And then down. Change. Bring that left knee all the way up, and then all the way down. Change. Maybe over time you'll try no hand on the chair for this one, but please do use the chair so that you can get the entire range of motion. So if you have to hold the chair to get this knee to the top and down, please do that, because then that will blaze that trail open for you. But then someday you can try no hands and still reach same height. All right, next set of exercises. So back to a level 1. Change the weight to your left leg. Put your right foot in front with the heel touching the ground. Toes are up in the air like this. Now, change your weight into your right leg and get to the tippy toe of your left foot. And then change your weight into your left leg, get to the tip of the heel. So we're going down. That's the other important bit with Tai Chi, is the emphasis when we're moving forwards and backwards is not forwards and backwards, it's down. So keep that in mind, that you're just going down to the earth and your body moved forward, and you're just going down to the earth and your body moved backwards. You don't have to move your body forwards or backwards intentionally. In fact, you just want to be relaxed and at ease. One more of these, level 1. Now, level 2, you may need your chair for this, because we're going to disconnect the right foot, reconnect softly, and then change. Get to the tippy toe. Now, like a little flamingo, you're just going to bend the knee of that back foot. Just pick it up off the ground, touch the toe back down to the ground, and then shift back. Once you're on the heel and this leg is empty, then from the hip, straight leg lift, down, shift. Get to the tippy toe, then that little bend of the knee, toe down, shift. Let the weight go down through that standing leg. That makes this light and empty. Shift. And then get the weight down through the right leg. That makes this leg light, empty, mobile. One more of these, level 2. Now level 3, hand on chair, so that you can go all the way up, all the way down, touch the heel, shift, and then this back leg, bring it forward and up, like you're about to step up on a big old high stair, and then reach the toe back and find the floor with no body weight in that foot, and then shift. So as the weight goes down through the left, you can float that right knee. And then as the weight goes down through the right, you can float that left. Stay in your right leg as you reach behind you, and then shift. One more. Relaxing makes it easy. Relaxing has this removing of internal conflict quality, this tension, and then that makes movement able to be quite effective, quite efficient. Let's change sides. Level 1. So put the weight in your right leg, left foot out in front. With this one, we can definitely practice no hands on the chair, because we're not leaving the ground. We're not picking either foot up. We're just changing which leg is our full leg and which is our empty leg. Shift. And also this one really shows us how moving forwards and backwards in space, we don't have to overtly focus on it if we just focus on connecting down to the ground. So as I just go down to the ground, my chest, my torso, everything move forward. As I go down to the ground, everything move back. So I can just relax. Now, level 2, you might need hand on chair as you lift, lower, shift. Now, as the weight gets down to the earth here, you can flamingo, a little bend to that knee, touch the toe to the floor, and shift. Straight leg lift, down, shift, and then a little bend to the knee, shift. And once you get the hang of it, you can kind of just let the arms relax. Because there's a lot of tendencies for us to hold, to hold, to hold, to hold. We want to get to where we're letting go, where everything's loose, and that allows us to feel very connected to the ground. Let's go level 3 now. You'll probably use the chair here for full lift, heel down, then shift, and then bring that knee forward and up, like you're stepping up onto a high curve, and then reach back without the weight going with it. Then you shift. Knee up, down, shift. Forwards and up, down, back, shift. Again, up, down, shift, up, back, shift. One more. And again, switch sides. Now, set up like we did for that first exercise. Shift. Now this back foot being empty, let's repeat this movement a couple of times. Just go forward, backward. But notice that when I step this foot forward, my body weight doesn't change at all. So I can step to the front heel and back to the toe, and I'm not doing anything like this. You see, now my whole body is moving awkwardly and kind of clumsily, whereas this movement is free, it's loose, and I'm very balanced. Now, the next time you have your left foot in front, shift into the left. Get to the tippy toe of the right. Now, we're just going to flow that exercise. Shift back into your right leg, step back with no body weight, and then shift back. Now, this foot is empty, this is full. Then we're switching, full empty. Step the empty foot, keep it empty while you step it, then shift into it, get to the tippy toe of the other foot. And notice you don't have to think forwards and backwards, you just think down, step, down. And we moved a foot and a half forward and a foot and a half back just by going down, down. We stayed balanced, we stayed grounded. We had good posture, but not because we were forcing it or holding on to it for dear life. It's really because we're just relaxed. That's what Tai Chi is teaching us, is that we're doing too much. We're in our own way. We got to get out of the way. Now we're going to go level 2 for this. You'll probably need chair. We go lift and lower like we did before. Shift into that right leg. Now this back foot, imagine there's an obstacle on the ground. You got to pick your foot up, step over something, and set the foot down out in front. And then shift into that leg and flamingo the other foot. Down. Shift back. Now this one can get a little tricky. Up, tuck, reach, all without putting any weight in that back leg. Then shift back. Now, front leg lift and lower. Shift, and now this back foot steps up and over something. So float it. It's empty. In its emptiness is its power to execute the movement. So it's only by emptying out this leg completely can we gracefully float and move and then change? So now this is full, this is empty, and then we change and step up and over. This leg is free because it's empty, and then change. The other one's free. And we'll finish with level 3 of this exercise. Definitely need the chair for this. So everything's just exaggerated. Knee up, foot down. Shift. Now go heel to butt, knee up, foot out, lower. Shift. And then bring this back leg, knee up. Then we reverse. Back, shift. Up, tuck, reach, shift. Up, down. 2 more of this level. Eventually, all this can flow when you've polished out layers of stiffness. You polish that out, then silky smooth movement becomes more and more natural and available. Let's switch sides. Bring right foot next to left foot. Step. Level 1. So put the weight through your right leg, left foot out in front. We shift. Now just repeat this a couple of times, this little step, step. And what you want to find is the leg, it's empty throughout. You don't change your weight out of your left leg. You're just freely stepping forwards and backwards. Now step forwards, shift into that leg, get to the tippy toe of your other foot. And then shift back. Step back with no weight, shift back. Empty, full, and then change. Now this is full, this is empty, it steps. Now this is full, this is empty. And then change, step, change. A few more, maybe you just get to where this feels like casual walking. Casual. Level 2. Lift, lower, shift. Now step up, bend over an obstacle. Shift, flamingo the back foot. Shift back. Now the leg has to come up in front, bend, reach, shift back. Lift, lower, shift. Step over, shift, flamingo. Now, probably need the chair, level 3. Knee, heel, shift. Now, heel to butt, knee up, foot out, shift, and then knee forward and up. Reach it back. Shift. Up, tuck, reach. Shift. Up, down. Couple more. Keep that vertical line. If you're feeling back pain, a lot of times it's because we're doing something like this. Keep that vertical line. Keep the crown sort of dangling from an imaginary string. Last one here. And come back to your middle. And let's do just this little lower back sort of therapeutic So make soft fists, like so. You're going to use these back knuckles on either side, the muscles of the lumbar. So just rub up and down. All right. Now we've got our chairs set up. Make your way over to the left side of your space so that you've got a runway out in front of you to work with. Now, first, level 1 probably won't need the chairs, but the chairs are there. So we put left foot out in front. Now, shift. Wait until this back foot's truly empty. Step it while it's still empty. Shift. Wait until your back foot is empty. Step it and keep it empty when you step it. Then shift. Step. Shift. Step. Now going backwards, careful. Shift. Wait for the front foot now to truly be empty. Step it behind you, toe touching the floor, still empty. And then shift. Wait for the front foot to be empty. Step it while it's still empty. Shift. Step it while it's empty. Shift. Remember, we're moving backwards, but we really only need to focus on down, being connected correctly to the earth. If you got that correct, everything else kind of takes care of itself. We're going to go forwards again. So it's down, step the empty foot, down, down, down. And you're moving across the room. And you're balanced. And your body has the opportunity to be relaxed. Go backwards, same thing. Down. Focus on down. Walking back. And now let's do one of those, level 2. So once you're all the way back, then we're going up and over an imaginary obstacle. Shift. Up and over. Shift, right? It adds that next level of challenge to say, are you truly empty? So premature stepping is what gets us in trouble. Picking up a not quite empty foot and yanking it around in space throws off the rest of our balance. So the better you can get at this skill of saying, okay, 100% down through the earth, the other is empty, float it through that movement. Then I got to make that change. Before I even think of picking a foot up, I got to change which is full, which is empty. And before I ever think of stepping, I do this change. So there's like this important foundational step, a phase of the movement that goes unnoticed until we bring it into our attention. And it's this change of full to empty, change of yin to yang. All right. And turn, face forward. Put the weight through your left foot. Right foot steps out. In. Out. In. Excuse me. Out. In. Keep doing that and really focus on this idea that it's out without weight, in without weight. Now put the foot out there, leave it there. Keep your feet on the ground, change so that right is full, left is empty. And then change back, left is full, right is empty. But don't pull the heels off the ground. Notice how that is a common move where we go like this. We lift the heel and lean the body. But what we want to do is open up this mechanism here. And so we're keeping the feet grounded and changing full, empty, and then full, empty. Now the next time you're in your right leg, stay in the right leg. Left foot should be empty. Bring it in, step it out. Keep it empty throughout this whole out to in to out thing. Now bring the left foot in, keep your feet together, touching even, and make this change. Full, empty, right? And then full, empty. So this, again, it really helps us find the internal mechanism of being able to move in space that has nothing to do with moving left or right or picking something up off the floor. It's an internal mechanism. Now, the next time you're down through your left leg, stay there, step right foot out because it's empty, it can step. Then change into your right leg. Once left foot is empty, it's free to float in. And then change. So now the weight's down through the left, so the right is free to step. And then change. The weight is down through the right, so the left is free to step. Change, step, change, step, change, step. This helps us get our quad, this groin area. Let's go that way. Change, step, change. And the more open the quad and the more this mechanism here operates correctly, you notice there's no need for leaning or tipping or rocking the boat over. I can keep this internal, almost like I'm just floating undisturbed on the inside. But yet I just moved 7 feet to the left and 7 feet to the right. And there and back again. You might add to this, if you've been coming to the Friday class, you know the bear washes its paws in the stream. I'm not going to take too much time teaching it today because we go over that stuff a lot in the Friday class. But what we're adding is there's this change of leg to leg, and all we're doing is just turning a little, sweeping. So this is the most simple of the advanced Tai Chi movements, because where you've got all the elements, we've got the change of weight, we've got the turn, and we've got some hand choreography, hand technique. The bear washing paws in the stream while sidestep. And if we take away the turn and the sweep of the hands, it's just the same thing in the legs. It's just change, step, change, step, change, step, turn, sweep, change, step, change, turn, sweep, and step, change, turn, sweep. Now, step in between your chairs. So they're on either side. Arms hang. Put the weight down through your left leg. Right foot is empty. Turn it out. Neutral. In. So notice this in position. The heel pushes out, the toes turn in, and the hips turn a little bit to this corner. Neutral, hips point straight ahead, and then as you turn the right leg out, the hips kind of turn a little bit to this corner. Neutral, internal. Now let's just skip the middle and go external, internal, external. And switch legs. Go neutral, change the weight. Left leg turns out. Hips go a little bit along for the ride. Neutral, internal, neutral, external. Now let's just skip the middle. Go out, in. and neutral. Change the weight to your left leg. Turn your right leg out 90. Now shift down through the right leg, turn the body and bring your left foot to match your right foot. So you've done a quarter turn to the right. Empty your right foot, turn the right foot out 90 degrees, and then shift into that right leg and turn your body again 90 degrees. So you're just quarter turning in space. The key we're focusing on is that you don't just grind your foot into the ground and turn it. You empty it first so that it floats and turns very easily, right? So if you watch me here, a lot of times when I'm working with people, I notice they do this. They turn, but they keep the weight in the heel. It's like you're grinding a hole in the carpet, and that gets you in trouble because you're stuck to the ground still. Whereas when you empty the foot, now it's floating, and you can just, boom, turn it out. And then the same thing here, you don't want to jump the leg there. You want to shift so that this is full, and then this is free to come around and step. So go around again a couple times to the right and really work on this idea that you're emptying the foot before turning it out, and then you're changing the weight into it, and then emptying the foot before you step it to match. Empty, turn out, empty, step together. Again, it's this little forgotten technique that underlies efficient, effective movement. And so these are the basics of that, but they're also the advanced ability because they open up the gateway for all kinds of movement. Now we're going to go the other way. So empty left foot, turn it out, change weight. Empty the left foot, turn it out. Just notice, don't grind a hole in your carpet. Empty the foot before you turn it out. Around twice. And facing forward. Now, instead of right leg turning out, turn right leg in. Shift onto the right leg and then bring your left foot to match it. And then change the weight, empty the right foot, turn the right foot in. This little pigeon toe move. And then shift and bring the left foot to match. Right foot, turning the body a little bit as well. And then left foot to match. Go around twice. Remember to empty it before you step it. Keep it empty when you step it, then shift into it. By practicing this, you're really training your middle. You're training your center. And we're going to go the other way. Left foot pigeon toes in. Change your weight into it. Step right foot to match. Left foot pigeon toes in. Change. Pigeon toe. Change. And facing forward. Hands together. Rub palms. So this is kind of a minimal self-massage that just sets the benefits of the practice. Go to the back of one hand, and then the palms, back of the other hand, palms. Then this groin crease on either side, palms. A sort of soft, not heavy pressure, but sort of vigorous movement there to get the chi flow through the qua, place they say it's very stagnant. It's also our inguinal lymph node crease. And then we go along the front of the top of the leg just where the leg and hip meet the hip flexors. Then come around to the back, go to the tailbone, up onto the back muscles. And then, like we were going to do a squat, stick your butt back, sink, sweep the hands down the outside of the legs around to the inside, and then stand vertical. Hands come all the way up past the groin to the navel. Then we do it again. Quad or groin area, hip flexors, tailbone, lumbar or lower back, and then sweep down and around and up past the groin to your navel. One more. And finally, up the outside of one arm to the shoulder, turn the palm up, sweep. Up the yang channels of the outer to the shoulder, turn the arm, come down the inside, sweep. Up the outer, down the, up the outer. So it's just this arm that I'm massaging, right? It's staying there, and I'm just going flop, flop, and then switch up the outer, turn, down the. Up the outer to the shoulder, turn it. Eventually it flows really nice. It's got this circle over the shoulders. You're coming up the outer, and then it just comes right down the end. Up the outer, down the end. And shake, bounce, legs in and out. Lift one heel, other heel, kind of run in place. Shimmy. Wrists. Forearms. And close. Settling down to your belly button level, and then sealing one hand. Alrighty, thank you so much, everybody. Well done. If there are any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or if you had any epiphanies. Otherwise, if you got places to be, you can also just say bye-bye and go. Up to you.